Hello, I'm Flapjack Coffee Grind, and this is coffee time. Hit it. I love the thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. Love the thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. What a sight just to see all the happy faces, praising God in heavenly places. What a thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. I love the thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. Love the thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. What a sight just to see all the happy faces, praising God in heavenly places. What a thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. Here he is, Flapjack Coffee Grind. Oh, I'm over here. Yeah. Forgot where I was. Where am I? The dance was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Now it's time for the monologue.
Oh, is that where? Sorry, I'm a little off today. Time now for the morning, the monologue. I know you all can't wait. As you know, I worked at the Coffee Time Wisconsin grocery store, and I just love to dance, as you can tell. While I work, I love dancing around the fruit and vegetable aisle every morning and really boogieing around the bread aisle in the afternoon. Well, yesterday I was filling up the pop machine, and one of the coworkers asked me, "Hey, Flapjack, are you filling up the pop machine?" And I said, "No.
Move over toward the mic, Dick.
I'm just looking for unicorns." Hit a keyboard, Harriet.
How do we follow this?
That's the mayor right there. Yes. It's great, isn't it? Everybody wants to be me. Last week, I went on a 5-day vacation to Florida. The temperature was 30 degrees below normal for the week, and but it wasn't a loss. Where else can you see icicles hanging from a palm tree? I slay me. Here, keyboard area. Oh yeah. Good.
vacation. Did you hear Dave Hurst, owner of the Coffee Time Wisconsin's woodworking shop, went on an annual weekend fishing trip on the Coffee Time River? Dave was heard saying, "How come every time I go on a fishing vacation, the fish go on vacation too?"
Let's watch him dance. Keyboard Harriet, I just gotta ask you, do you practice those songs? Them are very good. No? Okay. And now here he is, Flapjack, with our first ever debate.
Now, yes, my first question is, are you ready? My first question is, will you both tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Yes. My name is Diesel Gas-Pump, and I own gas station in Coffee Time, Wisconsin, where my brother here, Unleaded Gas-Pump. I love my brother very much. However, I think I'm better candidate than my brother, Unleaded, here because I am the eldest of the twins and was born 17 and a half months before my twin brother, Unleaded.
I think minutes.
Oh, minutes. Okay.
What a long labor.
That's a long labor. Minutes, yes. Therefore, I have 17 and a half minutes before experience in life than my twin brother here.
Well, thank you also, Flapjack, for hosting this debate here on the Flapjack Coffee Grind Show. As my brother Diesel pointed out, I am Unleaded Gas Pump and have half owner of Coffee Time Wisconsin's gas station for the last 40 years. And with my brother Diesel here, yes, Flapjack, it is true that my brother Diesel is, in fact, 17 and a half minutes older than me. However, I am several inches taller than my brother Diesel, therefore I have a higher perspective on the issues than he does.
I would like time to reboot Flapjack.
I think the phrase is time for rebuttal, brother Diesel.
Well, I would like to do that too. It's true, Flapjack. My brother is taller. However, I have more hair and I really look better on camera.
Well, it's pretty hard to argue with that. However, I also would like time for a rebuttal. He does have more hair. That is absolutely true. However, my feet are bigger than my brother Diesel, so I can stand my ground better on the issues.
I would like time to rebuttal. I have a bigger truck than my brother Diesel, allowing me to haul all the city's trash to the dump in just one trip.
Okay, I'm gonna have to have a rebuttal on this one as well. I have a dog and my brother Diesel does not. People love a mayor with a friendly dog. If only my dog was friendly.
Well, I guess I have to rebuttal then too. I have a cat that purrs really nice, and my twin brother here absolutely hates cats. If I may point that out.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to rebuttal on that one as well. You would have a little bit of a dislike for cats also if you'd had a cat that would eat all your Ritz crackers and cheese when you turned your back. When I was a kid, our family cat would do that all the time. Let me correct my brother Diesel. I do not hate cats. I just prefer to never see one again as long as I live.
Well, wow, what a debate we have going on here, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, you can cut the tension in this room with a butter knife full of peanut butter. But before we go on with our debate, it's time for a Flapjack Coffee Grind Dancing break.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, man.
Do your dance here, old flapjack. Get it. Where did you find him? Where did you find him?
Flapjack, I just gotta go off script 1 second. Are you sure you don't wanna run for mayor?
This is the mayor right here. Oh, yeah.
You. We're going to
Oh, man.
continue with our debate for mayor between Coffee Time Wisconsin's twin brothers, gas station owner, diesel, and unleaded gas pump. Next question. I know you both love each other very much, but you both, as brothers, have agreed to disagree. What are some political differences between you two?
Oh, Flapjack, my brother unleaded, could never balance a city budget. For the last 40 years at our gas station we own, my brother unleaded can't even balance a tire. I always had to correct his tire balancing jobs.
Oops, I'm gonna have to have a little time for rebuttal here as well. You know, I'll admit it, I might have problems balancing tires. However, last year, I filled up a record 756 cars with diesel fuel. Never, Flapjack, have we filled up that many car tanks with diesel fuel. It was done under my administration of full service fuel pumping.
Well, Flapjack, I'm gonna rebuttal too. That would have not been so bad, Flapjack, if 698 of those tanks my brother filled with diesel fuel were in fact with unleaded fuel only tanks.
Oops, I'm gonna have to have a rebuttal. Sometimes my stigmatism acts up. It was an honest mistake, Flapjack.
Wow, folks, we got a barn burner of a debate going here. Back in the 80s, President Ronald Reagan was criticized for the arms.
Criticized.
Oh, criticized. Okay. That makes criticized for the arms to Iran program. What are your thoughts on this issue?
Well, when it comes to arms to Iran, I think everybody deserves a big hug.
I agree to a point with my brother. Everybody deserves a hug unless they refuse to use deodorant, and there is just no way I'm hugging a person that stinks if I don't have to.
Well, that's something. But back in the 60s, John F. Kennedy faced the Bay of Pigs crisis. What are your thoughts on that crisis?
Well, Flapjack, I thought that the Bay of Pigs was a bad idea back then, and I still do to this day. How cruel can you get into dump thousands of innocent pigs out of an airplane into a bay of water? Animal cruelty is no way to win a war.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to agree with my brother, but only to a point again. How cool would it have been to see 1,000 pigs falling from the sky into a bay? I would have got out my camera. As long as they had pig parachutes, I don't see a problem with it.
A lot of bacon. Well, Richard Nixon faces the famous controversy of the early 70s of Watergate. What are your thoughts on that issue?
Well, Flapjack, Watergate would never happen if Washington, D.C. had better plumbers working back in the early 70s.
I have to agree with my brother again, but only to a point. Perhaps if Richard Nixon would have had more outhouses and hand sanitizers set up throughout Washington, D.C., Watergate would have never been such a big issue.
Wow, folks, we have got two candidates for mayor of Coffee Time, Wisconsin, that truly know the issues and how to fix.
It's hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah, well, when my eyes are moving, fix at least some to have them Time for your closing arguments, gentlemen.
Well, you know, Flapjack, whether you vote for me, which you should, because I'm better than my brother, we both agree every city and nation needs to be Jesus Christ and his plan for this world first. Second Chronicle says, if my people are called by my name, humble themselves and pray, seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sins and heal their land. And in Psalms 33 says, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, and the people whom he has chosen as his heritage.
And I agree with my brother Flapjack. If God is not lifted up in our cities and nation, we are in big trouble. Paul said in Acts 10:35, but in every nation, anyone who fears him and does what is right is acceptable to him. And in Galatians 3:8, it says, and the scripture, foreseeing that God would justify the Gentiles by faith, preached the gospel beforehand to Abraham, saying, in you shall all the nations be blessed. You see, folks, the nations are blessed through him, but we have to trust him alone for salvation and live with a heart of sincere repentance from sin to walk in all of his blessings.
As some of you know, I'm a poet, as some of you know it, and I close with my poem called, The Mayor, My Diesel Gas Pump. I am not a dragon slayer, I just want to be your mayor.
Wow. Wow, wasn't that great? Give him some music here.
That was awesome.
Wow, great poem.
All right, then time for my vote. I am too a writer of beautiful poetry, or I am not a writer of beautiful poetry like my brother, but of advice. Here is advice for voting by Unleaded Gas-Pump. You guys ready?
Yeah.
He who gets the most votes wins.
Well, vote for me then.
Wasn't that great, Flapjack?
Yes, it was. Remember, folks, you and our audience get to decide who the mayor is by voting online this next week. Thank you, Keyboard Harriet. Thank you, Pastor Cliff. And thank you, Gas Pump Brothers. Join us next time for another Flapjack Coffee Grind Show with me, Flapjack. Who am I? Flapjack Coffee Grind. Next time I will premiere my new dance, the Coffee Filter Dance. Bye-bye.
Hit it, Keyboard Harriet. Join us next time for another edition of Flapjack Coffee Grind, America's #1 dancing sensation. I am at the mayor's City Hall podium. I'm not going to be the mayor, although they'd like me to be. It's been a tough week, right, guys? You're campaigning for each other, actually. Gas pump. And
Some of us cheated.
some cheated. Well, yeah, I just got done talking how honest
Typical
you are.
politician.
But anyway, we had in this city, I think there's 50 eligible voters in Coffeetown, Wisconsin, because the population is only 83. And we had 15 votes. No, yeah, 8 went to unleaded, 5 went to gas pump, but gas pump did some campaigning because he loves his brother so much. But now we are going to have the acceptance speech, and we have the members of the media here, so you'll be sharing with Marcia, Dave. So come on up, let's give him a hand, our new mayor, Unleaded Gas Pump.
Yeah. Hey.
So he's going to give our speech, and then the media is going to be asking questions.
Okay.
So I'll share with you.
All right, here's my speech. First off, I am so honored to be the new mayor of Coffeetown, Wisconsin.
No, that's me.
Nope.
No, it is. I had to change it because I thought you
okay.
won.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought you won too.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Unfortunately, somebody
Okay.
was subversive.
I was campaigning last
I'm not
night.
gonna make any names.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, my brother Diesel was an honorable opponent. Not so much, but okay, we'll say he was. But because I am 17 and a half minutes younger than my brother, I thought for sure he was going to win just because of his experience alone. Outside of 10 hours a day running my gas station that I co-own with my brother Diesel, I will not be available on Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday nights. That is because I spend that time with my sister-in-law, Jody Gas Pump, who's crafting gas pump statues for sale on the internet.
Pretty good lucrative business, isn't
It
it?
is, yes. Saturday, my brother Diesel and I spend all day hillbilly hand fishing in the Coffee Time River. Sunday, I'm busy as a leader in my local church, but the rest of the time, I am dedicated to this job as your mayor, unless I have to do an oil change at the station, because we know my brother can't handle that. I will take questions from the press now.
Pastor Cliff here from the Coffee Time Spooner News Nazarene Church Program. Mr. Mayor, how do you feel about such a low voter turnout, less than 10%?
Well, it was better than the last mayoral election, less than 1% in that election. Only one person voted.
There's more on the back page, you gotta flip it around.
Oh. Mayor Jody was the only one who voted. Granted, she was the only one running.
Marcia Macaroni from the Macaroni newspaper here. People have been complaining that the city of Coffee Time Park closes too early. Concerned citizens are saying 10 p.m. park closing time is not enough time to visit with friends, neighbors, and family.
Well, my administration will be pushing the city council of Coffee Time to close the park at 10:05 p.m. instead of 10.
Awesome.
I figure 5 minutes is more than enough time to wrap up any conversation you might be having with someone.
Flapjack Coffee Grind from the Flapjack Coffee Grind Show here. Do you have any entertainment lined up for the annual City of Coffee Time Festival in the park? If not, I have worked out some new ones to entertain the crowd. You want to see one?
Well, sure, why not?
Stay in front of the camera.
Hit it, Harriet! Thank you.
Hey, Flapjack, you have the job. I might show you my new gas pump dance when I get time. Or not.
Am I Brad then?
Yeah.
Okay. Robert Bob from the Coffee Time, Wisconsin talk show here. Mr. Mayor, there is currently a gang tension again between the decaffeinated gang on the north side of the Coffee Time, Wisconsin, and the caffeinated gang on the south side. What do you plan to do about this, Mr. Mayor?
Well, I have a plan. Believe me, I plan to help them ease tensions with one another each month by allowing them to have water balloon fights filled with caffeinated coffee and decaffeinated coffee in the Coffee Time Park. A little fun will blow off some steam.
Keyboard Harriet here from the Coffee Time Wisconsin radio station news here. The sandhill cranes have been ruining gardens everywhere here in the city of Coffee Time. Just last week, the sandhill cranes ate all my vegetables right out of my garden.
Well, you know, they do call them the filet mignon of the sky. No, we'll move on. Keyboard Harriet, my administration is proposing to change the name of Sandhill Cranes to Mudhill Cranes. That way, you can't say Sandhill Cranes are doing the damage anymore.
Wow. Well, Pastor Cliff here again from the Coffee Time Wisconsin Nazarene Church Program. Mr. Mayor, the last city of, I can find my notes here, the last city of Coffee Time ran out of salt last year with the plow trucks in the wintertime. What are you going to do if this happens again and we run out of salt and we have slippery streets?
Well, I have a plan for that as well. I do believe we'll just use pepper. Our city will be on the cutting edge with new techniques and a new method with me as your mayor.
Oh, wow.
Marcia Macaroni from the Macaroni News here. The outgoing Mayor Jody, how come she chose not to run again?
Well, frankly, my sweet sister-in-law Jody Gas-Pump got sick of everybody being an expert on running a city. Jody told me several times, how come all the people who know everything are taxi cab drivers and people cutting hair?
True, that is so true.
Flapjack Coffee Grind from the Flapjack Coffee Grind show here. Mr. Mayor, have you decided to go with my idea to make all city council meetings a place for dancing so that the leaders can ease of tension before making big decisions?
Well, of course I have. I've decided to go ahead with that plan, Flapjack. That is why I plan to wear my blue suede shoes to every city council meeting.
Excellent.
Robert Bob from the Coffee Time Wisconsin Talk Show. Here, Mr. Mayor, you talked in your campaign about reaching out to faith-based programs in the city to help build our spiritual life here in the city of Coffee Time. What are your plans to do to make the promise a reality?
Good question, Bob. I want to help make our churches excellent places to go where they grow in the Lord. Recently, I bought Pastor Cliff a book here called How Not to Put People to Sleep When Speaking.
Hey, wait a minute. Go ahead, Harriet.
The Coffee Time Wisconsin radio station news here. Mr. Mayor, do you think the city of Coffee Time will ever put a stop sign in at the junction of Flower Street and Sanka Avenue? Your talk seemed very confusing when addressing that issue during your campaign.
Who invited you to this, Harriet?
I don't know.
First it's Sandhill Cranes, and now we're concerned. Okay, well, we'll address that. You see, Keyboard Harriet, a politician says stuff that is confusing at times, because if he says something clear and understandable, people tend to remember that better.
Wow, what a
Time for me to go. But remember that no matter who is the leader of this great city of Coffee Time, Wisconsin, without God as the head, we are all destined to fall and fall greatly. And I'm actually going to speak some words of wisdom finally. I am reminded of Psalm 127, 1-2. Verse 1, unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the guards stand watch in vain. Verse 2, in vain you rise early and stay up late, toiling for food to eat, for he grants sleep to those he loves. So long, and see you on the streets of the great city of Coffee Time, Wisconsin, but only like 2 days a week.
Well, let's play him some music, some mayoral music.
Oh, there you go, Mayor.
Wow. I love the thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. Love the thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. What a sight just to see all the happy faces. Praise